to avail supplies.
But it does seem very apparent that there's something that can be done about it, but there is a lack of desire.
Those are issues now that we need to look at as a society.
You see, because it doesn't sound like something that Kenya ought to be drowning under at the moment, especially when the first thing that you led with was that you have conversations with permanent secretaries, for example, who the implementation metric seems to be an issue. And if we have the implementation of some of these things, then these problems that you talk about then would be a thing of the past, because the word that I've written down now 3 times is sustainability of some of these issues. The only thing that you can do to achieve sustainability is actually implement it in the first place.
And now let's get there.
Why is that a problem?
Let's get there. And that's why when you look at the fiscal policy of Kenya, is where we have a problem. Because even implementation, you require investment. You require investment. I mean, you cannot just implement by a word of mouth. Parade all the PSS here, and all of them will lament to you. Should we have enough resources? These are programs I've laid as a focus, as our strategic plan. This is our vision as a department. This is our vision as a ministry. But we are stagnating because we are not enabled to move.
Why? Please allow me to give you an example. When Moses Kuria was the CS for this long Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, the permanent secretary at the time even came here and told us how they were setting up mechanisms whereby people could come in and invest a particular amount of money. And what that meant is that they would then put the money into the economy, where you start to actually have manufacturing hubs, and then Kenya would not start to operate in a surplus. The framework for those things had been established, well, at least according to our understanding. But then to move between the framework and implementation seems to be a problem. And for those of you who make the law, we really want to try and understand, because it seems as though Kenya continually steps on the gas but does not move. That's one example. A second example, which we shared again yesterday, and I'm just going to take a little bit of time to do that. Kenya currently has a standing agreement with the UAE to provide livestock in form of goat and sheep to the UAE. And that is why that whole hullabaloo about vaccinations came into place, because they want to make sure that the animals are of a standard. Not one goat or sheep has left the shores of Kenya to go to Dubai yet. It's been 2.5 years since that agreement that would have actually brought in some good revenue, not just to the exchequer who is looking for money to do this recurrent expenditure, but also to farmers who then have sustainability. There's that word again. But there's something that stops it from happening. And I think that's where lawmakers come in to say, this thing that's stopping this thing from happening, let's identify and actually make it work. I'm still stuck at why that's so difficult.
Speaking from an example you've given, of course, I'm aware not much in terms of count, but of course I know some few traders have been doing that through Lamu Port. We've seen animals, but not frequent, not in a manner that it can be counted to have impact direct. But I know devolution also has a role for this purpose, because livestock is a developed function. I was in Tana River on public participation on Saturday, and this is what members of public were asking. You see, for us, this is our farming. We're farming animals. This is what we are doing. We've been promised to have a holding kind of yard
at the counties, holding yard in counties.
We were promised this way, and nothing has happened. I think I agree with you. We still have a problem on being specific in terms of prioritization. Though we have this resource training, but we still have a problem in prioritization, because it's about everyone. Like as I was saying, if you had 2 weeks ago, the committee of Atande, every PS is coming to Lamin and say, I need, but a common priority, both for national and county, and nothing stops. That's why developmental plan, strategic plan, the CIDPs are to be aligned together through the State Department of National Planning and the National Treasury, so that as a country we are in a sustainable approach, goals that is aligned. But when we still have a problem that I have to hone when it comes to prioritization, we seem to be choosing other things over other things. Despite we have all these problems in terms of resource allocation, we seem not to be identifying, let's say, as all areas how to be coming together and say, what is our common problem? Where can we put resources? And nothing stops neighboring counties on contributing on the same, so that they're able to have a common results that can favor all of it. We still have that problem.
Is the outcome seen? Because if everybody sees, we still have a problem looking at
especially on devolution, we have a huge problem.
Because here's the budget that's being read on Thursday,
yes.
and everybody's got their knickers in a twist already, asking questions. Where are we going to get this money from? But through the year, through the remaining 11 months of the year, opportunities present themselves all the time to get that money that everybody's stressing about today, that will empower your businessmen, will empower your farmers, empower all of these people, set up protectionist policies. But then we start screaming at the end of May.
We don't have money.
I don't understand. I'm trying to come to terms with